Aloha and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be watching from. It is a beautiful Waikiki afternoon over here and a cloudy, ready to get rained on Waikiki afternoon right over there. Aloha, Roy. You guys are guinea pigs for a couple of settings that we've tried, and I think we may have a sweet spot here, at least for the live streams. We'll talk about that in a moment. We're right at the International Marketplace on the corner of Kahio, which is this main street, Kahio Avenue. And the cross street is Nahua. And Nahua is, you've probably heard me, wow, probably heard me mention it a couple of times because it's home to that hotel, which used to be called the Pearl. Let me walk over here a second and let you take a look at it. This used to be called the Pearl, and it was a very economy class hotel. But it is now going to be the Romer Waikiki something. Not sure what it's going to be called, but it's Romer something, and it's a sister property of the Romer Ambassador. And I walked through that just a couple days ago, and man, they have made a massive amount of updates in the last 72 hours or so. It was completely blacked out on Saturday, black plywood all along there. It's gone now. They have a pool at the top. They have completely redone rooms. The lobby's great. It's a beautiful property. I'm wondering what the rates are going to be. Actually, you may be able to book it right now. Matter of fact, I know you can book it right now. Aloha Marie, or Mayrie, or Mary, and Mario, and Janine, Angela. And I think I may have tricked some of you. Actually, I'm not going to take responsibility for it. I think Terry fooled some of you because I think you can see this on Facebook as well. If you're able to see it on Facebook and it's in portrait and you can see it where you're watching it on YouTube and you see it in portrait, we have a home run, people. We have a home run. We were able to figure it out, but I can't tell. And she's not on. Terry's not on right now, so she can't tell me. So if there's one of you who can go to Facebook and then come back and let us know here if you're able to watch it, or actually, no. That's part of the win. Sorry about that. I can actually see YouTube and Facebook. You guys are all on Facebook. Wow. Tom, Roger, Kathy, Sue, Jenny, all of you are on Facebook. So I can split it. Son of a gun. How about that? We're on tall cotton, as they say now. And Sandy, you're on YouTube. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Unless you guys have a issue with YouTube, it'd be great if you'd watch on YouTube, or at least go on there and comment. Make sure you're subscribed. You're watching on Facebook, YouTube. That's great. So and on Facebook, are you able to see it in portrait now? Because remember the last two times they weren't allowing portrait, and I guess I had outran their trial, because they had done a trial where you can do portrait, and then they stopped it right before we did the I think it was one of the Friday night streams that we did, and it was not portrait, it was landscape, and it was really very small. So Colleen, very good, you're on YouTube. So okay, Janet, very good. Janet, let me know on Facebook, are you seeing it in portrait, and is it the normal large size portrait video image? There's the target with a target open date of 2065. Look forward to that. It's in portrait on. It's a normal size on Facebook, and it's on portrait. Tom just said it's on portrait on YouTube and Facebook, and it's portrait on Facebook. But it's not. I mean, it's not too small though, right? Or is it too small? Oh, very good. Very good. Full screen. Nice, nice, nice. Large on Facebook. Okay. Then we cracked the code. We actually didn't. They, you guys ever want a nice live music place with some great food? You can go upstairs and go to Waikiki Market and get a plate lunch and come down here, or you can order right from their restaurant right there, which is what I'm sure they'd want you to do. And then O'Leary's is their nice restaurant, which is a little pricey, to be honest with you, which is upstairs, right up there. But you can go into Waikiki Market, get your plate lunch, and go to the beach. Wonderful deal. Less than 25 bucks. Well, probably $30 worth of drink and what are your other stuff. Watching on Facebook and my phone. Yes, it's full screen and portrait. I'm also watching YouTube. Michael, very good. Thank you guys for doing that. I know this is a pain in the butt to do this, but man, it's a tricky mistress. I mean, we thought we had to either stream completely to Facebook or completely to YouTube or do posts on both. But man, StreamYards makes it better. But boy, the quality, the video quality, they keep wanting you to go to 720 DPI, and I don't want to do that. We may have to at some point, but we're not going to do it now. Okay, we need to accomplish two things today. One, we need to show a viewer where the hula stadium is, what she called the hula stadium. It's actually the Waikiki Shell, so we're going to show her where that is. There's actually several people. There's about 8 people who wanted to know. And wanted to know where the zoo was and where the Barefoot Beach Cafe was. The Barefoot Beach Cafe, apparently they have I looked it up myself. There's not a confusion in their listings, but some people out of town are having an issue with the listing on where it is and how close it is, and they're thinking it's over on the east side, and it is not. There may be a Barefoot Cafe or a beach cafe or something, but that's not on the one we talk about. Is where we're going. We're going right straight over here. So we're going to go to the Aloha Stadium. I'm sorry, the Shell. We're going to show you that. Show you where the zoo is and where Barefoot Beach Cafe is, all in proximity to one another. We just did Ohana East. You want to see that nightmare? And I want to vindicate myself because I am right so very, very few, or so infrequently, I should say. That's the Ohana East. They told us that they did tell us, because I actually had Terry look back on a conversation I had with these people, and they actually said that they were doing a soft renovation and that they were going to be open in like 60 days. That was, gosh, you guys may be able to tell me. I think that was in October or November. It was before the first of the year. But now look what they're doing. They're completely gutting that whole bottom area, but they're still open. And their rates are still high for August. If you recall, we did the rate challenge. What's it cost to stay in Waikiki? And that rate was as high as right there, the Hyatt. I think it was $282 or something along those lines. That's your favorite ABC stores? Aloha Dale. Again, if you folks would, when you have a chance, just watch a couple of videos. I know they're replays, most of them on YouTube, but they're going to start being more exclusive. Like today, we are going to do this video exclusively on YouTube, and you're going to start seeing more of those. But up to this point, they're pretty much all the same from YouTube to Facebook. But if you ever want to do anything, give us a tip, send us silly gifts or anything like that, please don't do that. And instead, go to YouTube, watch a few videos, and just leave some comments on some of the videos. That would help out tremendously. And Dell's done it. Michelle has done it. There's been a number of people who have done it, and I really do appreciate that. That means the world to us. It really does. And I promise you, when we get to 25,000, 50,000, 100,000 subscribers, you guys will definitely be remembered. There's a Pacific Monarch. This actually is going to be a pretty good stream too, because not only are we going to discuss the Naughty 19, but we're also going to look at a few hotels that are secondary properties. You know, they're not marquee properties. Some are economy class hotels. Some are Airbnbs. And I've said this before, but let me say it again, because I know not everybody is on every stream. You see that building right there? Take a look at those. And if you've ever looked at Airbnbs in Waikiki, this will be of interest to you. Everybody else, you know, just do a crossword for a moment. But look at that balcony right there. Can you see it? The layout of that balcony with that furniture is actually very familiar to someone who's looking for a very inexpensive Airbnb. And if you look at the paint on there, you'll notice that you'll find that paint color is familiar. Those are all Airbnbs. And as I've said before, most Airbnb locations will not give you their exact address. And I guess they shouldn't until you actually book. But if you've ever really wondered where they're really located before you book, if you book and it shows you somewhere in this area right in here, that is probably 99% of the time going to be the location. If it's something like a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom between 129 and 169, that's it. But check out the color of that paint, and you'll see that's exactly the unit. I mean, there's several units, but that unit that I just showed you was their model unit. There's a Pacific Monarch. I know a number of you have stayed there before. Hello, Janine Franklin. Thank you very much for your contributions. And Jennifer. Oh. Hey, Lance, what's up, brother, man? Wow, you love all the information I give you? Oof. You need to raise your standards here, Carolyn. But I appreciate it. All right, so let's drip. All right, so let's solve a couple of the world's problems as we're walking along here. Vive Hotel, I've only been in there a couple times, couldn't tell you much about it. I know that one of their big issues, one of their big promo things, or assets or amenities, I should say, that's a better word, is that they have beach rentals. They have beach rentals for chairs, beach balls, loungers, things of that nature. And there was someone else on our stream, maybe she's on now, and it was a female who was telling us that one of the things that she liked really well about one of her, I think it was the world famous Wendy Silva. She was telling us that she liked staying at the Wayfinder because they gave one of their amenities was their beach lounge chairs, things like that. I'm not sure, but that's actually something you may not really think about as being a major asset. You can certainly rent them along the beach there. I prefer to do that. It's a more expensive, but you just pick it up and drop it off right there. As a matter of fact, they'll bring it to you on the beach in many cases. But there's several places. As a matter of fact, as I'm pointing down there, right at that stop sign, there's a surfboard rental place, and they also rent out lounge chairs, things of that nature. If you like poke, that Maguro spot right there is very, very popular. I've not eaten there since they made the transition. I'm not sure if it's the same owner, but they did a little bit of a renovation, it seems like, but they're busy all the time. There's a Musubi spot right there, too. It's very, very popular. For some reason, when people come over from Japan, they go right in there. And Korea too, I believe. But they usually have a line outside that place. It's very, very good. Also, down this street here, Ulunu, I believe it's called. I can't pronounce it very well. But this is the Hyatt, and this street goes right there to Kalakaua. But right there where that stop sign is, up there on the right-hand side, that's where the really good moped, scooter, and those little tiny cars are rented from. And right next door to that is Sundays. And Sundays is the place where we got that burger the other day. Lucille and I got it, and it was remarkable. It really was. Highs, great place for steak. I would pick Highs second to DK's, and DK's is at the Marriott Waikiki Beach Resort. How many of you know that place? I'm going to wait to mention our topic till we get past these some of these good landmarks, because I need to tell you about these landmarks, and I don't want to keep interrupting ourselves. How do I learn some? No, I've lived here off and on for 26 years, 26 years. It's right on the cusp of that. But I can do this for a lot of places, many places. I just can't pronounce the names. I know it sounds silly. That's actually one of the complaints from the Naughty 19 is that I'm illiterate. And when they said I was illiterate, they misspelled pronunciation and used it incorrectly in a sentence when they meant to say enunciation. But I'm not one to babble. So that's Ocean Blue. I was there about 3 weeks ago, and I got their prime rib and shrimp, and she gave me prime rib and lobster. And it's not, I will tell you this, it's not the best prime rib I've ever had by a stretch. It's not the best lobster I've had, but there's just something about this place. And I'm sure a lot of you have been there before. This place, it's just, there's just something about it. It's like going to a swap meet or something. The food is much better than a swap meet, but it's not as good as Highs. It's not as good as Highs for sure, or DK's. But there's just something about being able to go there. And we're going to do a Bites and Beaches right there. We're going to actually reformat that show, or that episode, that segment, I should say. But they have a ton of options. And it was really good. And it was $32 because it was lobster and prime rib. And it was sizable. It really was sizable. And this place, this has three different places here. This place back here, very, very good. Coffee is not great, but their service is very slow. But their breakfast is extremely, extremely good. Very good. Very personable people. It's very busy on the weekends. They have this great seating area back here. This poke, I've not had their poke, but it actually seems to be pretty popular because it's very, very busy. And this guy, I don't want to make him nervous. Their shrimp, this is what I mentioned the other day. This angry shrimp here, get it hot. It will light your head on fire, and it is unbelievable. I think, and I'm not saying because he's right there, this shrimp dish, the size, honestly, could be a little bigger, but for the price and what you get, you cannot beat it. There's another place around the corner by Sundays, which does some similar things, but right here, but this shrimp, it's an angry shrimp. See, there's a sign right there, angry shrimp. It's right here, and it's right across. You all know where the blue ocean is, but that is the dish. The coconut shrimp, I didn't order it myself. The person I was with actually had it, and they love that. But it has crispy, the shrimp katsu roll, but that angry shrimp, don't cheat yourself. Thanks, brother. See you. I wasn't going to not talk about it, but I wasn't going to not tell you the truth about it either. I think he was happy, okay? Oh, over this place here, Lance? Yes, yeah, Jennifer, we do that. As a matter of fact, we're going to do, I've been trying to put off going there because of, not because of, but just so I can include Shasta. And Shasta's been busy. She, she doesn't have time for the Tony. She has prior engagements. She's out on dates. She's doing her public service for her many arrests. She's also doing a bunch of, boy, they could not have painted that an uglier color, could they? She's doing a lot of volunteer work too. She does a lot of that, and she just gets wore out from it. But alas, if you guys aren't completely tired of it, I will do them myself until she's able to. We're going to do we're trying to get something set up because she's doing she's going to be out of town for about a week towards the end of the month. And we're trying to get something done between this week and next week. This is the Alohilani Resort. This street right here goes right down to Kalakaua. Right there on the right-hand side is that's the the Waikiki Resort Hotel. That's actually a hotel that's been favored by a few people here in Waikiki. This lady is taking my picture and holding up the stream. I guess she's on the back of this taxi. I don't want to put her on, I guess I will. That lady right in there, she was holding up the stream like that and then taking a picture. Anyway, that's a nice hotel, and as I understand it, I don't want to say who it is in case they want, and maybe they want to say, but they have free breakfast included, and their rate was not bad, and it is a great location. It's a great location, and they have balconies on most of their rooms, if not all of them. Well, I love doing them. I know soon enough you're going to get tired of me doing them, but hopefully by that time we have someone else ready to go. All right, this is the Hilton Waikiki, not to be confused with the Hilton Garden Inn, which is right over there on Kahia. We actually walked right past it, and mistakenly I didn't point it out. But this is the Hilton Waikiki. I think they say it's a little bit more elevated than the Garden Inn. I'm not so sure. This is off the beaten path a little bit, I guess you'd call it. But it's a nice hotel ran by a very good company. One of their notable amenities is that right there, Mac 24/7, and they serve Starbucks coffee. And that Mac 24/7, as the name implies, they are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they have pancakes and waffles the size of your head. And not only are they big, but they're good. Oh, was that you, Sandy? Okay, I didn't want to throw you under the bus. I'll do it. I've done it in the cage and outside the cage with the leopards. I did it on accident in La Jolla. This is a very quiet street. It just runs from Cajillo to Kalakaua. There's nothing really remarkable about it except for the side entrance to the seventh worst cheeseburger restaurant in Waikiki, which is Cheeseburger in Paradise. Oh my gosh, Lance. Maybe I need to rethink my self-invite. We're almost through with the hotels, guys. That's the Marriott Waikiki Beach Resort. That's one of my favorite hotels. I just love the layout of the rooms. The balconies I told you about yesterday on the stream, the balconies, they just seem to be just a touch bigger. And it's just sizable enough to where you can roll a room service cart, and you could have a room service dinner on your balcony. And that, boy, if you need to score some points or make up for something you did wrong or you've done wrong all year long, Lance, that is a way to make up for it. Get you a really nice dinner, have it pull out on the balcony there, and let your lady enjoy herself. You couldn't comment. If you're not seeing comments, there's a way to put comments on there, or you can actually say I want to comment or show comments or something like that. But you're on here now. We've got you. Other people are able to do it. That's what's important. There was a live a comment, or I'm sorry, a post about Cheeseburger in Paradise, and there were a lot of supporting comments. I mean, I like it. I don't like that. I like that people give supporting comments. What's up, Jack? How's life? Where's your woman? Oh, there she is. I wonder if she has babies around her. Hello, Ursula or Ursel Cloud. Yeah, there were some people who made a comment or made a post about Cheeseburger in Paradise, and they all had great. I hope my visits there were the anomaly, and I hope that people go there and enjoy it, and it's the best cheeseburger they ever had. And I hope they post about it and tell everybody in the world about how great of a place Cheeseburger in Paradise was. Trust me, a year or two ago, I would have been the same way. I was the same way. I did the same thing. I loved it. But they got more than 3 passes, and they failed miserably. Their manager should be fired, or the manager I spoke with. I shouldn't say the general manager. That's not who I mean. Their manager that was there the 2 times, there's 2 different managers. They both should be fired. And I've had restaurants, so I'd have fired them on the spot. The way they treated, I wasn't offended. It didn't bother me. But if they talked to someone else like that, I would have been no bueno. This is Hyatt Place. We did not see it this time, but Hyatt Centric is the hotel, the small Hyatt hotel that's right next to the Starbucks, right there on Cajillo and Seaside. And this is Hyatt Place. And the reason I'm pointing it out is that the Hyatt Place, when we did that, how much does it cost to stay in Waikiki? The Hyatt Place and the Hyatt Centric are very, very similar. I mean, it's difficult to, if you didn't know they were different, it'd be difficult if you walked in with your eyes closed and didn't see the sign to know that they are different. But that's how close they are. But this Hyatt and the Hyatt Centric is more expensive than the Hyatt Regency right over there. The Hyatt Regency, when we did that challenge in August, the rates were 296 and 294, and one was 296, one was 294 for the Hyatt or the Centric. I don't recall which one, and it was 282 for the Hyatt Regency. And that's not because one hotel or the two hotels are nicer than the other. Certainly, it's just that the Hyatt has more rooms to fulfill, so they just doing rate adjustments, which benefits you. You get a much better hotel, much better location, much better amenities, more restaurants and shopping and bars, all that type of thing, compared to almost none of that at the Centric or the Hyatt Place. No, Hyatt Regency is almost dead center from Place, and the Centric is. Do you see this building right here? This kind of beige building. It's right on the other side of that. Right on the other side, and right where we started our stream, Jennifer. Right where we started our stream, it's about 2 blocks that way. I'm sorry. I'm exactly wrong. I'm thinking. So Hyatt Centric is where I was telling you about. Hyatt Centric is just on the other side of the big building. The Hyatt Regency is right straight through here. Right straight through there. You may have missed it when we were talking about the Ohana East. I pointed out the Hyatt was right there in front of us. That's where it is. Aloha, Jonah, Daryl, and Alien. What's up, fellas? I don't have any food. I wish I'd have brought some. Look at that egg over there on the ground. What's kicking today? All right. Okay, so let's talk about the topic of the day. And we'll just talk about this only till we get to the shell, because I don't want to run it into the ground. As some of you know, there's a group of people called the Naughty 19. We've labeled them. Bitter, sad, angry. Individuals who rarely post anything positive about, definitely nothing positive about going to Hawaii, nothing about going to Hawaii page. And rarely do they ever post anything about, hey, here are the top 5 tips for surfing. Here's how you should go into the ocean. Here's how here are the top poke bowls I love. Here's a family event that's going on. None of that. But what they do is they wait for either a guest or a member or Terry to post something, and then they jump on it. Boy, if there's just a crack of a space of an opportunity to say something disparaging to someone or something. And Terry, I've known Terry for a long time. She and I are old hands. She would take a bullet for me because I'd take 2 for her. Okay. She did nothing wrong, but she posted that because I mentioned doing that Olamana hike couple 3 years ago, and I told you about how rainy it was, and I did it in the rain. I told the whole story about I went there and I was literally the only person on that entire trail, and it was just me mentioning that, and I had no intention of putting the post. I said I was going to do the post, but I didn't want to put it up because I was leery of what actually happened. So we put. She got a couple of comments about, it's illegal to go up there when it's raining, and which it's not. And there's so many people who died. There's only been about 15, which is 16 too many. I understand that, but it's not Vietnam, And yes, there's a strain on public resources when they have to go rescue somebody. That's how it is when you live in a destination like this. And crying, complaining, whining about it isn't going to change much of it. It'll change a little bit, but not much. For God's sakes, they have a sign at Olamana that tells about all the people who died. And it's not cryptic, it's a kind of macabre type sign, which I love that it's up there. It tells you, hey, listen, these 11 or 12 people died, and it needs to be updated. There's been one more person die. But I did it anyway because I wanted to. I'm a grown adult, and if I'd have fallen and died, well, that'd have been the thing. But the reason we put that post up, and now I can see your comments, guys. So if you commented up until just right now, I haven't seen many of them, but now I can. So I apologize. I'm going to, I'll be more diligent about watching the comments as best I can. So what I did was I said, man, I haven't done 3 peaks. I'm going to do that. And it just starts raining. And here, let me back up a little bit too. This is not to be braggadocious. And I was a little bit angry at Terry for posting some of those other things, you know, like the Macau Tower climb and the bungee jump and the Mount Huasan climb. I've mentioned those to you, but I've never posted them before. I mentioned them to you in passing, and I didn't put there. I've got probably 3 years of Pacer. You know, it's a Pacer app that shows you how many steps you take, but also shows the elevation. I have like 3 years of that I could post. I'm not going to. I could post to show you how many times I went up that hill behind La Jolla Village. I mean, many steps, 5 million steps in 1 year, as a matter of fact. So, and I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just telling you that I'm not some moron who just said, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to go hit that trail. First off, if I was, I would have made it 100 feet into that trail and I would have turned around because I would have been a crybaby. Because at about 102 steps in there, I fell flat on my back, literally flat on my back. And I was covered from literally my head to my toe in cakey mud. And I said, get up, let's go. So it's not been my first rodeo. If you happen to see that hike that Terry posted photos of other people just to show, wasn't, and that was the other thing. They said, how come she's posting photos of other people doing it? Why don't she post of yours? I'm going to. It just, I didn't have, it's got my face all over. So I'm trying to find pictures that don't have my face, or she's coloring my face out just for right now. So we'll post those photos. But did any of you see those posts? The post with the China hike where it's the ledge, it's just a wooden plank on the side. It's called Mount Huasan. They call it the world's most dangerous hike. No, I didn't do Stairway to Heaven. I would have. I'd do it in a minute. I wouldn't be bothered to do it, and I believe I could do it. Anyway, there's a post that she took down. I asked her to take it down because it was getting so much comments and DMs to her, and it was distracting her, and I was going to get angry about it if I kept reading them. So we're on Kapahulu too, by the way. Kapahulu, and that's the Alloway right there coming. The road coming into Kapahulu. We're going to take a right up here. We're going on the back side of the zoo to go to the Waikiki shell and show you guys where they do that aloha show, the hula show. Okay, so if you saw that hike, there's 2 ways to do that hike. You can do it, no offense, it's what we call it, the woman's way or the warrior's way. And the woman's way, or the tourist way, is to take a tram. You can take a tram. They drop a lot of people off there, and they drop you off at the bottom. They go up this huge tram, and it's up thousands and thousands of feet, 4,000, 7,000, something like that. And then you go on this plank, and the plank is literally wooden planks, 3 2x4s that you walk along. Well, what you don't see, except what you're going to see in the video that I post, is that a lot of those planks are missing. And so all they have is they have holes for your feet in the rock. So you have to go along, put your feet, this foot, and put your foot on top of each other, and step to the next one, go to the next one. And I wouldn't say it's the most dangerous hike I've done, but they have like 200 people die there every year. Actually, what they do is they have people commit suicide there. They just go on that plank, and this is in, when I say China, this is in China. This is in hardcore China. And they have no regulations, no safety requirements there at all. And when I say at all, I mean at all. But people will go there and they commit suicide. It's a very, I don't want to say popular, but that's what it is. They go there, they just unleash, and they jump off the back, and they are dead as disco. That's it. That's what happens. So there's the tourist way, I'll call it, and the warrior's way. And when you're at the very bottom, you can see those steps. And those steps are, some of the steps are only about that wide. And they're pretty vertical. And there's some places where the steps go out a little bit and go back. And everybody talks about how many steps there are. They say there's 4,000, there's 7,000, there's 9,000 steps, there's 4,000 and change. And if you are really, really, really fit, if you're, super fit, you can do it in 2 hours. But I'm telling you, you're not stopping, you're not huffing, you're cranking if you do it in 2 hours. It took me 4 hours, like 15 minutes. I stopped numerous times along the way. But those steps are literally like that in many cases. And I'll show you pictures of it so you guys can see it. But hopefully you guys saw some of those steps. All right. So you get up to the top there after doing all those thousands of steps, and you just stand in line, and there's people that's called DNCs, or in jumping it's called DNJs, do not jump or do not climb. There's a lot of do not climbs. People will pay and they get down to the entrance and they just don't pay, and they do that on purpose. They put the pay part up here and you can't see the ledge, but when you do the ledge, there's actually 4 peaks on that mountain called Mount Huasan. And it's spelled a number of different ways, but it's HUA space SAN or SHAN. Both ways work. And it's in Zhangjiajie, China. And in Zhangjiajie, China is where they got the inspiration for the Avatar mountains. I have pictures of those too. They're beautiful mountains. They're shaped just like those floating mountains in Avatar, exactly like them. And it's just mesmerizing to look at them. So when you get to that peak, they want you to pay, because when you pay up here and you go down to the edge, people say, there is no way I'm doing that. Because what a lot of people think, I don't think they think it now because there's so many videos about it, but what they think is that you just go to this ledge, you get your gear on and you walk. That's not the case. You get your gear on up here and you have to climb on the outside of this mountain down rebar. You have to climb down it and you're just cabled in, and you're cabled in pretty well. But here's what they don't do. They don't stand there and do a safety. You know, like if it was in North America, they'd say, all right, you need a 30-minute class. I mean, they give you a 30-minute class to snorkel at Hanama Bay. They give you nothing. They look at the size of you and they hand you a harness. They don't even put the harness on for you. There's people behind you screaming at you in Dutch and Chinese and Japanese and Korean. Go, go, move, move, you know, whatever. And so I went there and they didn't have a harness my size. So they put 2 of them together. That took about 20 minutes and I was not happy about that. So they put these 2 harnesses together and you have to walk down these metal rungs. It's like a ladder about 200 feet on the outside of this trail. And then you have to transfer. Well, when you transfer, those boards are gone. So your first steps on that wall are just putting your feet inside the holes and hanging onto the chain. And you're about, I think it's 4,700 feet up. But the point is that if you slip or fall, it's good night, Irene. It's over. There's no, oh, let's go rescue them. There's bodies down there. They leave them down there. So the whole point of telling you all that nonsense is that Ala Moana was, I mean, I could have slipped and fall and broke my arm or leg or ankle or something like that. And I would have insisted that I pay, you know. If it costs, you know, $5,000, $6,000, $8,000, $10,000, that's my fault. So all of you guys of the Naughty 19 can get stretched for all I care. I knew what I was doing. I've been on hikes. I've been on treacherous climbs. I've done a number of building climbs where you do it on the outside of the building, or you climb the cranes. The world's largest or the world's tallest consumer climbable tower is in Macau, China, which is in Hong Kong, just outside of Hong Kong. And it's the A.J. Hackett Tower, or the Macau Tower. One of your old buddies there, Lance, he's from New Zealand. He's the guy who started bungee jumping. And I happened to go there the weekend that they were having ceremonies, and Hackett was there and had just been there. He was not there that day. He had just been there. So you go up to this tower at the very bottom, and it's up 1,034 feet. So it's as high as the Empire State Building, and the top tower is 5 sections. I went up there with 13 people was the max that you can take up in a group. You have to go up in sections, right? We got to the 3rd section. There's 2 more sections to go. Everybody quit. There were 12 DNCs, did not climbs. And when they quit, you have to walk the guy who is the tour guide. There's 3 tour guides, one who goes lead, one that goes in the middle, one that goes at the end. So if you quit like a little crybaby, we have to wait and you climb back down. Not everybody, just the people who did not climb back down. But we can't go up without 3 people. So the 3rd person that's the tour guide walks the people down or climbs the people down, and you're inside this tube. It's about 5 feet around. And they keep telling you, they said this probably a dozen times. Are you sure you can do it? Are you sure you want to go? It's going to get hotter and windier. When we get on the outside of the building, it's going to get worse. Are you sure you want to do it? And then people are just quitting. They're just, it's too hot. It's too windy. And then they told us, all right, there was like 5 of us left. And I went there by myself. And they said, okay, we're going to do this last part. And the last part is where we go on the outside of the building. So up to this point, we were inside this massive tube, this big metal tube. And there's a staircase in the middle of it. And it was just scorching hot. They took us on the outside and the wind was ripping. And I was loving it. And the pole that we were around was a little bit bigger around than this tree right here. So there was a little walkway around this pole, and it was going up about another 300 feet or so. And there are ladder rungs on the outside of it. And these people were like, I'm not going. I'm sorry. I've got to wait. So we waited. Me and the 2 other tour operators waited on that platform for almost an hour. We're taking pictures, doing videos, telling stories, kept seeing the wind and just sweating like you wouldn't believe. And the guy kept telling me, he says, hey man, are you sure you want it? Are you going to go all the way up? I said, dude, you are not stopping me. There's no way I'm stopping. And so we went up one more rung, one more section. And then the last section we went on, you see this tree right here? This tree is bigger around than the last sphere. And you'll see it in the pictures. This last sphere that you're going up, there's rungs along it. And they're so wide, you are so small, you can't put your hands side by side on it. And then they have at the very, very top, they have a big ball that's a lightning rod. And we were climbing up it, and that thing was going like this, waving back and forth and back and forth. And it was amazing. It was, and both the guys were, 2 of the guys were New Zealanders, and one was a Filipino kid. And this Filipino kid, well, he was a man, but he was really small. He would unclasp his cable and run up those rungs. And he sat on the very top. I mean, when you see the pictures I'll post, he was sitting on the very, very top of that ball, shooting down and taking my picture and the pictures of the other guys. And that dude was fearless. We did all kinds of crazy stuff up there that I'm sure we weren't allowed to do. And the only reason I'm telling you all that is not to really sound braggadocious, is I've done that stuff. Olamon is not the hardest thing in the world. It may be if you've never done it before, but I've done countless things like that. As a matter of fact, right after doing that climb, that 1,034-foot climb, we went back down and we did, it's the world's highest, at that time, it was the world's highest bungee jump at 734 feet. And that's not that tough, but there were a lot of did not jumps. People pay, they get up to the top floor up there and they go out on the deck and it's just blowing hot air and they freak out and they quit. I did it twice. I loved it. So, and there's a new world record bungee jump, and it's right by Zhangji, China, in the same area there. It's a big glass bridge that goes across there. It's 934 feet or 936 feet. I'm going back to do that one. Okay, so guys, this is the Waikiki shell. Okay. This is where they're actually having a couple really cool concerts. They're doing the Jurassic Park Symphony in July. With the Honolulu I think it's a Philharmonic, maybe, don't let me say it wrong if it's not. But let me show you kind of the front of it a little bit, as much as I can anyway. Guys, don't say it. I mean, I hang on a second. But you see that? That's the shell. And we'll show you a little bit more of it in just a second. I just want to show you a couple of places. So, and I'll tell you about how we got here, just so you'll be really familiar with it. That's a ticket. Ticket over there. So, can you see it over there? It's an amphitheater, and it's just beautiful. I mean, the fact that you're in Hawaii, outside, and you're watching these concerts. I mean, how many people have gone? Have you guys been to concerts here before? And who have you seen? Okay, now I can, there were people right behind me. on bikes and scooters trying to get right past me. So I wasn't able to see all the comments. So if you want to send your comments again. Yeah, Jurassic's going to be nice. Oh yeah, Jimmy Buffett would be good here. Okay, so we're going to walk around the other side, but right through here is where you come for the hula show. This is actually what it's called. Kilohana Hula Show. And here are the, and you know what? Someone else can tell me, but I think that they changed this schedule. Oh, sorry about that. I think the schedule is till Thursday or Friday. I think it is. I don't know, but just go online and look. There's the phone number and their Instagram. But here's what it is. You can walk through. You walk through this way, right in through there. That's the Waikiki shell. And let me show you where look at that beautiful tree. Those trees. Sorry guys, I don't mean to keep jumping back, but look at those trees up there. Look at that tree and that tree over there. Aren't the root systems beautiful? Wow. And yes, for you veteran people, we did walk past the zoo, but I'm going to show them the zoo on the way back. Okay. So we are at the edge of Queen Kapiolani Park, and it goes that way. And it's about 330 or 313 or 303 acres. I hear it a number of different ways. There's their dressing rooms. Bathrooms were back over that way by the, but here's where it is right here. Here's the stage. And it's a free show. I mean, if you come to Oahu, definitely go here and come see the show. It's just beautiful. I know a number of people who see it all the time, see it several times a week, but that's it. So it's back behind the Waikiki shell. They do it right there on that lawn. I know Janet is a big fan of it. I am too. And some of you, probably like Janet, have seen it back in the day when it was here, like in the 70s, huh? Yeah, Jennifer, you ran into me right there. Okay, so that's the zoo right there. We're going to walk past it, just so you know. That's the zoo. That's Waikiki. That's Kapahulu right there, that street right there, Kapahulu. And it goes to the Kaimana Hotel, which is right there. Is the Kaimana Hotel, right, that base building right on the other side. That's where Rocky, the mother and baby seal, I don't know, have they named the baby? I'm sure they have. I just don't recall. But when they have the marathons or any big events that come past Waikiki on Kalakaua, this is where they gather here. The marathon, the 5K, I think it was, or 3K or whatever, it was right here. And this is the bandstand. I'm going to walk over there just so you can see it. But I don't know. I'm certain it doesn't transfer very well on a live stream. But this is just the feeling you get here. You're just in such a, I don't know the feeling. I'm going to find out a word for that. I'm going to find out a word for that. According to the Naughty 19, I don't talk good, so I wouldn't pronunciate or enunciate it correctly, even if I knew what them good words in writing were. But it just, you feel like you're on a holiday when you're right here, and you just feel connected to this ground. On this ground where I'm walking on right now, this is where, was it King Kamehameha, I think it was? Well, I'm really going to get in trouble now. But this is where he had their horse racing track. And they used to invite dignitaries and people from all over the world to bring their horses here. And that's what this was for years and years and years. And then he sold it, or leased out the lots. There's Diamond Head right there. You can see the people at the very, very top. There's the pillbox there. It's a short show. It's free. And you just get, I don't know. I want to say a feeling of community, maybe. I don't know. Connection. Those who have been here know what I'm talking about. You just feel, maybe it's because of the land, I just thought of that. Maybe it's because of all the history on this dirt that I'm walking on, or the ground that I'm walking on, huh? Stuff the naughty 19. They were all upset about Terry posting not my photos, or not posting my photos. Why don't you post his photos? Why don't you post his? If he's such a badass, why don't you post his photos? If he's done all these great things, why don't you show me? If he's so scary, show him, show his stuff. Oh my God, such petty. I could not imagine living in a world where I was that petty. Or I can't imagine living a life where I was that petty of a person. You're disgracing Hawaiian culture when you go up that mountain. That's sacred. Yeah, you know what? You know who was on that mountain when I was coming down? Locals, 2 local dudes. So you're tearing up the place. That mountain will take, even though it's littering is bad, all the leaving anything behind is bad, that mountain and Mother Earth will absorb every single thing that we make, think of, have made, will make, and it will adjust. It will pivot, as the Jersey chick says. It will pivot, and it will make itself right. Me walking there randomly on muddy ground is not going to do anything to that location up there, and nothing about it was disrespectful. What I'd like to do is I'd like to get a couple of those people who, the naughty 19, and let's grab some hiking shoes and get up that hill and do a nice ceremony. I know probably there's a couple in that really good shape, so shouldn't say that, but I just assume they're not. I just assume. So this is the bandstand. They do some hula shows here. They have live events. Sometimes they have the schools will do their hula contest here. Just a really great place. And then you see all this seating here they have. Again, it's all open air. I know I'm stating the absolute very obvious stuff, but it just makes it something special, and then you're just right across the street from there. It's the same for me no matter where I go. I'm not a smart man, Lance. This is the Duck Academy, it appears. Hey, fellas, what's shaking? Oh, I didn't mean to make you get up. Because you know why they do it? Because they have lost control of a portion of their life. That's why a lot of people do the mean things to other people and disparage other people like that. Because, oh man, look at this. These guys think I have nothing for you guys. Nothing. Look at them. I wished I did. I wished I'd have thought you were here. I'd have brought you some food, but I don't have nothing. It's been my experience that many people that have negative, condescending things to say, trolling, if you would, they just have lost control of a part of their life. And being on YouTube or Facebook and trolling people and calling them names and saying and doing things that you're held completely unaccountable for is a way for them to have control over something. They can control that hate and disparaging comments and trolling, and there are no consequences to it. And it's not a matter of, oh, you wouldn't say that to my face, although that does come in some places. You just wouldn't speak to another human that way. And if you did, there would be consequences. Not that there'd be a fight or anything like that, but someone would yell back at you. At the very, very least, someone's going to yell back at you, but they have control that they can type something, say something, write something, comment something. And it's usually people who are either unemployed or have a terrible job or no job at all. They're out of work, out of shape, fat, alcoholics, lazy, and have nothing else going on in their life. Because I promise you this, I don't know of one person who is doing well in their life who has 1 minute available to them to spend on Facebook talking about how bad someone's doing or how they're not doing this right, how they should change this about their life. They just don't do it. That's my experience. I may be completely wrong. See this guy? This guy right here, he was in the international marketplace in the little streams they have there. And he was just picking up the rocks and throwing it out on the ground, picking up the mud and the rocks in there and throwing it on the ground. So we have seen now, so this is Kalakaua, right? The zoo is right over there. You can actually see some of the, not exhibits, what are they called? The habitats right over through here. Okay, we're gonna look at that last. So you can either walk down Kalakaua Avenue here and then come to this, the Waikiki shell, which is right there. And when we finish this walk going back this way, it'll make a little bit more sense. But I wanted to, and you probably wouldn't walk from Waikiki the way I did, but I wanted to show it to you in this kind of a loop, just in case you do. And if you don't want to do it that way, just go backwards. Walk from Waikiki all down Kalakaua, right across the street from Kahio Beach and those bathrooms, and you'll see this bandstand, and it's right straight through there. Walk along this beautiful path, and you'll see it right there. There'll be people in the stands. Okay. Oh, you did, Cynthia. Nice. Hopefully these, boy, I just barely avoided a face plant just right then. Just barely. There she is. If you've never done, I mean, I'm not trying to crowbar this into you, but if you've never done a lookup on Queen Kapiolani or any of the Hawaiian, just look at Hawaiian royalty and just do a YouTube search for the first couple, like do on Queen Kapiolani. She is a killer, man. I mean, she was a author, wrote music, and if you're not really well, I mean, Lance could probably tell us much more about this. But they were a lot more well-traveled than what a lot of people think they were. I mean, a lot of Hawaiians went to, Europe and France, and, I mean, they went a lot of places. I mean, you think, I did years ago that, man, and you need to go to Bishop Museum and Iolani Palace. But look at the history. It's just super rich. It's just astonishing to me. Hopefully this brings back some memories for you. I forgot the lady's name who said she went to school here. They had the, I don't recall the name. It's the name. Maybe one of you guys would remember. It's the organization where they had the disabled. It's called Able. I don't remember, but they had the surfing contest for the people who had disabilities or had limited access to their limbs and things like that. They were out here practicing before that. Any of you guys going up Alamana or Mount Huasan or jumping off that tower or doing bungee jumping, you think you're tough. Tie your hands and feet together and go out there and try and surf. Those people were, and there were kids. There were some kids that were small, that were not tiny kids, but younger kids. There were women, men out there, and they're, man, I don't know, they're just fearless. Jump in the water. Got more guts than I do. I think I'd have to buckle. Right here or right here? Those trees, I couldn't tell you. I think those are, I don't want to say, I think that is a banyan tree. Isn't that a banyan tree? Someone knows that. I think that is a banyan tree. But I don't think that's something else. That obviously they're not the same species of tree. I don't know what the name of that is. I should know, but I don't. Someone contact the Naughty 19. You know, one of them said, they said, we don't see him doing any what is it? Any photos or pictures or not photos or any trips up Cocoa Head. Don't see him doing that. Well, first off, Olamon is way more difficult than Cocoa Head. Number one. Number two, those stairs going up the Warriors Way up Mount Huasan are about 5 of the Cocoa Heads. I think it's the equivalent of 5 because I think there's 1,017 steps or something like that. And Cocoa Head goes like this, right? That Mount Huasan goes like that. And not only that, but the I don't want to call it fear because it's really not fear, but it's concern. The concern factor going up Mount Huasan on those stairs, you'll see those stairs go up like that. Sometimes they're convexed a little bit. And all you have to hold on to are chains on the side. And you have to have arms that go fit from one side to the other, or either that, have your arms spread to have a hold of each side, or you just hold on one side and go up. And once you're up about 100 feet, there are leveled places. So don't get me wrong. It's not like that the whole way. It's not. It goes like that for about 300 feet, and then it kind of levels off, then it goes back up. But if you think that you don't have a fear of heights, and I don't have a fear of heights, man, I have a fear of dying. You're on those metal or those concrete steps going up, and it's crazy. And if I did not have a photo of this that I'm going to tell you, I would never tell you because no one would believe it. There are guys that make that trip a couple times a day, and they have a bar on their back, and they have a 5-gallon bucket on either side, and there's a restaurant up there halfway up, and there's actually several at the very top. And sometimes they take the tram, but they don't want them taking the tram because they don't want those men riding with the passengers. So those guys will take that bar over their back and 2 buckets on either, 1 bucket on either side, and they'll climb up those stairs. That is absolutely the truth. And I've got a picture of myself with one of the dudes. And I was like, dude, you have got to be kidding me. What we were walking up, and they walk up, and guess what? They don't have hands that they could put on either side. They are balancing. They're leaning their chest on the steps in front of them. Their chest is literally touching the steps in front of them when they're going up. And they have that bar across their back and the bucket on this side and the bucket on that side. And they just go up, and you can't pass them. You have to wait for them to get to a flat landing area, and then you can pass them. But those guys weigh about 115, 120 pounds, and they are tough as a block of iron, man. And that's their job every day. Every day. Yeah. I had this. Never mind, I'm not going to say, but they're cool dudes. Actually, I was going to get something. I don't want to wait. But here is Barefoot Beach Cafe. I've been standing here this whole time. Didn't say what it was. Barefoot Beach Cafe. This chain link is here. It's kind of disrupting their view a little bit. But if you sit like right over here on these benches over here on the side, that's one of the best views right here. Let me show you. Just sit right here and have your Loco Moco. There you go. You see that beautiful sunset over there. There were people on Mount Huasan going up the Warriors Way that went up about 100 steps and quit. A lot of people quit. There was actually myself, a girl. I mean, no offense, I'm not trying to disparage a girl, but the girl was about this big around, scrawny girl there, and her boyfriend were from Switzerland. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to blast past these clowns. And because I know everything, and I'm right about everything, I'd say about 80 steps into it, that was the last I ever saw them. They blew past me, and that chick was in front of the guy. and was talking him up the stairs. And they went way up. As a matter of fact, by the time I got to the top, they had already been to the top, done the hike, and they were on their way back down. I took the tram back down. I'll be honest about that. I didn't do the stairs down. Doing those stairs coming down would be treacherous. Let's go up there. Let's see if there's a turtle or some cool fish. Just like Sherpas. I mean, Sherpas are another breed, but that's exactly what they're like. And that's the bad part. When you get people that go up, they go, oh, I'm going to go up the stairs. I can do it. And you can just tell by the way they're talking, they're not going to do it. And it's a disruption because we actually started at the bottom. You'll see in some of the photos I'll send. You see at the bottom when you start to go up, and then it starts to get, I mean, the steps are literally that wide and they're that tall. And then there's others that are really tall and really thin and really wide and really short. So you can't get into a rhythm. You can't just start kicking it, you know. And these do not quits would be, or did not climbs were problematic. And then if you don't climb up, you've got to go all the way back. You have to go all the way back down. It's just a short climb. I mean, steps really. It's like from maybe here to maybe Kaimana. From here to Kaimana, you have to walk all the way down. Then you get to take the tram up. So if you don't climb those stairs, you've got to go all the way down and come back up.
That's weird. That.
Yeah, that's Switzerland chick. She we did the climb at Lauterbrunnen. You guys heard of Lauterbrunnen? Lauterbrunnen in Switzerland, where they do all the squirrel suit. I was actually very seriously thinking about doing that, and the guy talked me out of it. And he talked me out of it like this. He said, "Do you really want to do it? You've never done it before?" I said, "Well, he goes, "No, you're not going to do it. Just go up to the top and check it out. They have a climb you could do where you're at the very top of Lauterbrunnen. There's a beautiful, look up Lauterbrunnen. It's L-A-B Brunnen, Switzerland. But there's a beautiful waterfall, and they have a bars in the wall that you climb around. You can go up and down, and it's I think it's as difficult as Mount Huasson, but I don't think they want to advertise it so much. What's dinner for? Do you really want to know? Broccoli, eggs, and chicken. Can you guys see those fish? I can't wait to get that polarizing filter, an ND filter for you. Oh, Koh Samui. You know, I've never been to Thailand. I'd love to go. I've been to almost every Southeast Asian country except for Thailand. It just never. I would love to go. And see, right now, if I had to look at this water, I would say this is perfect for turtles. There may be one down here that may be looking at one. Let's go take a look. Let's go crash their turtle party if they happen to have one. We'll be respectful of it, though. How's this walk right here for you guys? Isn't that beautiful? Oh, the closed captions are on? Oh, darn it. Oh, you mean the closed captions or the ticker at the top? The colors look really, really, really nice. So I think we've white balanced it very nicely. I think the colors are coming across nice. How is this viewer experience for you guys on YouTube and Facebook? Or you can just tell me what it is if you like it. If the size is big enough, if the color is bright enough, all those things, and I could just tell if you're on Facebook or not. Is this viewing image area good on Facebook and on YouTube? Oh man, I would love to go to Thailand. Facebook is great. All good. It's good on YouTube, Facebook. Good. I would think like right now, because you see how clear it is and the waves are not bad, you would think that this is perfect turtle weather. And this, I just want to point these guys out. See these guys here? They're doing surfing lessons. And they put GoPros on some of these guys, I thought. But what they do is they have that, see that lady down here? Or where that umbrella is? That's not true. But you see where that umbrella is? When they do have the lady that does the GoPro, they put GoPros on you, and they also have a, like there, that gentleman has a GoPro on the front of his, and then they have a lady that sits out here with a drone, and the drone comes out and flies around and gets photos of you. So it's a really, really good experience. But you can see how deep, it's not very deep. So this should be like really good turtle weather. Good on both. Good. Thank you guys for that. And thanks for being a part of the technical crowd, the the tech crew. One of the things I enjoy about Hawaii is that even in Waikiki, it's much better if you go to the North Shore, but there's wildlife all around you. You know, there's crabs, there's seals, not so many seals, but there's big fish, there's, you know, there's so much stuff you could do that's wildlife related. Like Eddie, Lance? There's a company that does a very cool thing. You can go in a helicopter, and it's like they go 20 feet, 30 feet, up to 65 feet, I think, and you jump out of it. And then you jump in the water, and you can swim to this boat, and then you go snorkeling. It's really just more of a thrill seeker type thing. But Shasta says she would do it, and I told her I would go one up her. Whatever she did, I'd one up her. I think she'd do the 15-footer and then cry about it. I would do the higher, I think, unless I chickened out. Who knows? Maybe the naughty 19 are right. I'm a coward. I've seen 2 sharks. Actually, you know what I've seen 3. We saw one just the other day. Remember the one we saw, and the guy said it was a reef shark. I never saw it, so I can't say that it was, but he said it's right up here. And we walked this way a little bit, and I had thrown some bread out, and I was just looking for the fish coming up on the bread, and we saw the tip of what I thought was the tip of their fin coming out. It didn't look like it was one of the trigger or one of the other fish, other type of fish. I can't think of the name of it. Amberjack. It wasn't an amberjack. So I would say 3. I've seen them outside of the water. I've seen them after people have caught them. That's Philippines, isn't it? Philippines is. Yeah, there are sharks everywhere. Well, let me back up. You're talking about have I seen them unplanned? That's how many I've seen unplanned, but I've seen them on shark dives before when we intentionally went out. Like Sharks Cove, you would think it's covered up with sharks. It's really not. But if you go outside of Sharks Cove, which again, this is for the naughty 19, if you're listening, this is also one of those disrespectful, bad, dangerous things that you shouldn't do unless you're experienced, yada, 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 shut up. But outside of Sharks Cove, if you go past the breakers there, you'll see a lot more fish. And I've heard there's sharks out there, but that's not, Sharks Cove is not like loaded up with sharks and you're going to die if you go there. It's actually a very beautiful place to snorkel. Lots of marine life. I personally, I like Hanama Bay, but when you go to Hanama Bay, and if you're a visitor, you should go to Hanama Bay, take the class, go there, snorkel a few hours and enjoy yourself. It's just memorable, and do what you can to conserve the reef. You know, don't wear I mean, wear reef shoes, but don't walk on the reef if you can. Just, get a BC, get a vest, make sure you're elevated, float on the top of the water. But one of my seriously number one tips is buy a good or just a decent, not a good, just a decent snorkel kit from Walmart. $30. Put it in the back of your car, or put it in your beach bag, take it with you, because when you go on, if you go on your own drive around the South Shore or the North Shore, you'll find little beaches, and Shasta is an expert at those beaches. She can tell you, or actually she won't tell you a lot of them, but she'll tell you some of them, like just go along the way, turn in here, go over that way, this way, and then you go in and there's this pristine beach that's very shallow, and you just get your snorkel gear, you go in the water out about this far, and you'll see as many fish as you'll ever see at Hanauma Bay. And it'll be you and maybe 10 other people, maybe, on that beach. What's for lunch, fellas? Salty, nasty, soggy bread? That was a big old crab, man. I mean, as far as those black ones go. Here's, can you see those black crabs right there? The spotted ones? Those aren't very big ones, but those are great bait. No bread from me, fellas, sorry. All right, just a you know what I was going to do? I was actually going to come on and purposely start mispronouncing the words that I do know, names of things that I do know, but I'm not going to be performative for some ding-dongs. So obviously that's Waikiki. We walked along Kahio, which is the first street, one block east of Kalakaua. But this is Kalakaua right here. And we went to the Shell, and then where they have the hula show, it's right there. That's in Queen Kapiolani Park. Again, it goes that way. Across the street is Barefoot Beach Cafe, and then right straight through there is the Honolulu Zoo, which we'll walk past here in just a moment. And it'll make a full circle from where we started. And Kaimana is right down there, the home of the Rocky. I think it is Rocky. Maybe I misspoke. Maybe it's not Rocky. The mama who had the baby seal. I think it is Rocky. Maybe someone can clarify. Walmart, yeah. I've seen them all over Baja and all over Cabo and La Paz down there. I mean, I literally probably couldn't. I actually could not count the number of sharks I've seen out there. You see some massive, massive sharks. And we saw I'll try and find this picture. We saw a tentacle of a giant squid that a guy had brought up about a week before. I mean, it was completely rotted and everything, but it was a massive, massive tentacle. Massive. It was big. This was after probably a week or so out in the sun and what have you, and it was probably, and I have teeny, teeny, tiny hands, so probably twice this around of my hand, at least easily twice that. And that was the base of it, and that wasn't the part that went into the body. They said no one knows really how long it was, but the piece that we saw was about from me to that trash can long. And that was just a piece of it. And they say there's giant squid down there like 60, 70 feet long. But there are sharks down there. There are grouper. There's some fish down in Baja, especially on this side. Whales go down there. Whales will come down from the coast of California. You guys have heard me mention living in La Jolla Village, La Jolla Cove. Right on La Jolla Cove, you can see the whales coming down. They'll come down California go down to Baja. They go down there and have their babies, what have you, and then they come back up, and you could see them both places. I've been to Cabo down there, and just thick with whales, just thick, thick, thick. And they go down that Baja area, that Baja, because it's so, so deep. I've had them come up to the boat so close that you could touch them, but on both times, and those are on just two occasions. On both occasions, I had my hands busy with camera gear, but the people I were with were reaching out and they were touching the whales, and the whales kept coming up. They'd come up and they'd just sit there and they'd wait for you to pet them and touch them, and they go down, they come right back up. So I know you're not supposed to do that. It's going to kill the whale. If touching a human was going to kill a whale, boy, those suckers aren't tough enough to get away from those the killer whales and squid and all those other things. They're going to try and eat them. Cabo's a great place to go. I want to go down there. We'll do some live streams from Cabo. When I go back to La Jolla Village, we'll do some streams there too. I thought that was fun. That one stream we did, I think we did on a Saturday right before Christmas. It was beautiful down there. Took a golf cart out. So that's the Honolulu Zoo. You can see the sign, the red brick building right there. That's the entrance to the zoo. Opens up, I think, at 10 or 10:30. Check this out. You just walk by these things of beauty all day long and just don't even notice them sometimes. The bar right next to it, Welcome to the Jungle, I think is as good. It's a different vibe from Cabo Wabo. But it's a tiny, tiny bar, but there's a girl that sings in there that makes Gary Cerrone and Lane, whatever his name was, sound like a mute. I mean, literally, this girl had a voice that would rip paint off a car, and she would use it just very sparingly, unlike a lot of people who have like a God-given talent. You know, they overuse it in songs, and she only would do it like maybe 5, 6, 7 times a night on a song. But if you can imagine Axl Rose at his very, very, very best night, and then Lane, what's his name? Lane from Alice in Chains. Someone knows who he is, knows who I'm talking about. If you put those two together and times them seriously by 2 or 3, that's what this girl could do. And she was a little sucker. She was maybe 5'4", little tiny, but she had her mouth she had a huge, huge mouth, and it's like a Mick Jagger kind of mouth. And she was just cute girl, but just could murder a song. You heard her, and you could hear her down the street past Cabo Wabo. It's right there on the right-hand side. Just scream her head off. Sammy Hagar's bar is right here. Cabo Wabo, there's that little indentation, and there's that kind of, not but like a, not marketplace, but a courtyard. And then next to that is Welcome to the Jungle. Around the corner from that pay toilet, you have to pay to get in it.
I'll take you. I promise I won't.
And you would not think it, but Cabo has so many beautiful restaurants. You just have to find them. I mean, you can find all the local kind of street food, which I love that too. We're going to do a Bites and Beaches this week, but we're going to do it by either going to a food truck or Blue Ocean, or one of my favorite places, Surf and Tacos. Surf and Tacos has a garlic shrimp bowl If you guys have a recommendation, or if you have an interest in any one of those, just let me know. Surf and Tacos is going to be a garlic shrimp taco bowl, a burrito bowl. Blue Ocean will be whatever it is you guys pick from Blue Ocean, or we can go and do a food truck. One of the food trucks there in by Ala Moana and Kalakaua. I've got to be by the ocean. That's why I love Cabo so much, and La Jolla Cove. Well, one day we're just going to walk up, and those stingrays are going to be right there, man. Just right there, waiting for us. Blue Ocean. What do you think, Janet? I think it's going to rain. You kind of feel it. Yeah, sad plains. Someone thought we were being unfairly cruel to the people leaving, but it's just because the planes leave a different way. They depart coming this way. Always sit on the left side of the plane, folks, when you're leaving, so you can get a really nice photograph. If they continue, they usually continue past, but sometimes they'll take a hard corner. It looks like he's taking a hard turn right there, that guy. But if they don't, sometimes they come all the way past the river. You can see Diamond Head really well on the left side. But that can change. When you don't take it, and then the guy has to take it because of weather or other aircraft, and get all upset with me because he didn't go the exact way I said he was going to go. Oh, really, Janine? That's nice. Crying tourist, that's right. That never gets old for me. Never gets old. I think this has died out a little bit. You're going to the Big Island? Whereabouts on the Big Island? This is perfect puffer fish. Water. I think I'll have that filter next week. That neutral density filter, that polarized filter. You'll be able to see right in the water. It'll be much cleaner. Oh, after 5 days on Oahu, good for you. You know, if you may know Hawaii really well, you may not, but if you want to reach out to the world famous Miss Cassie Vegas, she did exactly that. She was here on Oahu, then she went to Big Island, and she just loved it. This is why I like streaming on StreamYards, because we'll go back and check it, but I'm able to mess and have more control of the colors on the dialing in the colors, so the colors are more lifelike, more like they really are. Another plane leaving. On Facebook, sometimes they're washed out a little bit. Sometimes on YouTube, they're washed out. But on StreamYards, it looks like the color separation is really nice. You see how the gray of the ocean, of the clouds, and the white and the bright blue in the water looks nice. I wonder how many cancer patients live in Hawaii, like if they knew they only had 6 months to live. They want to spend it in paradise, right? Did you guys ever know about anything like that? Mm-mm. No, I didn't think about that. But I can certainly see that if you wanted to live it out in paradise, this would be a place to do it. Gerard, my man, how are you? Always good to see you. Early, later, whenever. Good to see you. I almost want to go get a some pineapple, man. Some pineapple or pineapple and watermelon mix or mango mix. Ooh, not mango. Yeah, I'm ready to start getting out to Kailua, do a walk around over there. But even Kailua, Kailua is beautiful and it's a great little community, kind of an artsy type community. But for what I do and what we do here, Waikiki is better because there is so much diversity here. But when you go to North Shore, it's just a different ballgame. We're going to go there. Actually, the next streams coming up are going to be as follows, not in this order. It's going to be a Bites and Beaches that we're going to do one day this week. And either this Friday and Sunday, we're going to do the sunset at Ko'olina, the Ko'olina Marina, the Ko'olina Lagoons. So that's what we hopefully have planned for Friday. And Friday is going to be a marathon stream. So we're going to make an announcement by tomorrow, I think. So what we're going to do is go out there at 1 o'clock, and we're going to start at this end of Ko'olina, where the marina is. We're going to start at the very, very tip. We're going to go all the way up, see the vacation rentals, the Marriott Village vacation rentals, which are not remarkable at all. And then we'll go along each of the 4 lagoons and look at the lagoons. The third lagoon is the one right in front of Aulani. We'll go inside there, walk around the Disney Hotel, and we may just stop it there, the stream. Actually, we'll probably stop it before we get to Aulani. We'll stop it there and make that a stream. Then we'll start it back up and do Aulani and then stop that stream and then start it back up and go next door to do the Four Seasons, the Iolani Four Seasons, which I know it's not called Iolani Four Seasons, but I will always call it that because that's one of my can't talk good things. No, they're a client of ours for a long time. That hotel is just spectacular. It's called the Four Seasons at Ko'olina, but I like Iolani better. So then we'll go in there and we'll tour that, and then we'll shut down for probably an hour or so, charge up, and then for the sunset, which will be about 6:15 or 6:20 or so, we're going to go to Paradise Cove. And have any of you been to Paradise Cove? The Paradise Cove luau? I was shocked at how many people didn't know this, but here's Ko'olina, the resort. Paradise Cove is right here. They're shutting Paradise Cove down, and they're going to build a entertainment complex out there, which I think is tragic. But business rules. But just south of there, and right on the coast, there's Paradise Cove Beach, and it is, to me, when the sun sets, it is one of the most beautiful places you will ever see. If the colors are right on that sunset, which I'm hoping is, it's just magic. I mean, you think you think God's touching you. So that's what we're going to do this Friday night, and then we're going to do a sunrise stream. I thought about doing the Lanakai pillbox, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it up that hill. To be honest with you, I think it's going to be a little tough. So we may just do something really easy, like a little mound or something. What's that, Laura? Oh, that they're taking out Paradise Cove? Yeah. They've been saying that for a while. I'm not sure exactly when they're going to do it, but they've been planning that for some time now. I've done Turtle Bay, but we're going to do that again. Shasta and I are going to do a we're going to do a North Shore, and what we're going to do instead of drive you around, because we had a connection issue and there's just really nothing we can do. And it's very frustrating for me when we go on these streams and we have a disconnect because you guys, get flustered. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do a North Shore where we're at Haleiwa and go all the way through the town, go back and forth. And I'm going to try and get a third person to go with us so they can order the food in front of us. So Shasta and I and our lazy butts can go just from one place to another and, experience the food, the drink, and then just get in the car and go. And then we'll stop the stream there. And then we'll start another stream up at Sharks Cove. And we may do snorkeling and just may walk up and down the beach and the road there, just so it's about a 10 or 15 minute stream. And then we'll stop that one and then go to, different Sunset, Bonsai, just do short 20-minute streams instead of one long 4-hour one. And that way it's a little bit more consumable for you. We'll have less issues, not no issues, or be without any issues, I should say. But I think it'll be more consumable. And then we'll do one stream of just Turtle Bay. What do you guys think of that? Oh, your dad's hometown? Oh, your old hometown? Where's your old hometown? Kathleen, we have groupies where in North Shore? Or you're not talking to me? We can't do Manoa Falls. I would love to do that. We've tried it twice now. And we get all the way up to just past the container, the shipping container, and we lose connection. Yeah, we'll spend more time on North Shore than we did last time because we were trying to fit all those things in one day. And then we should have just planned on ending up at Turtle Bay. And we just had some misconnections and some things just didn't work out. But we're going to do it a little bit different this time. Guys, if you're sending a comment to me, just be as complete as you can in the comments, if you would. That way I know what you're saying, because if it's just like a 1 or 2 word, or I'm not able to see the previous comment. If you would, just makes it easier for me, and I want to respond to as many of you as I possibly can. Hey there. How's it going? Yeah. Now, we're on now. Oh, you're watching. Someone's watching us right now. They're on the beach. People will do that. They'll hold up their phone. They'll go, hey, 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 hey. Hold up the phone and show what they're watching. I think that's cool. I think that's cool that people are in Hawaii watching going to Hawaii. How's that? You're good. You're good. How's it going? How was it? Did you see some good stuff? Oh, this? Yeah, good. You'll enjoy it. It's a little rough on the other side there, but you'll enjoy it. Just be careful if you start feeling a tiny lightheaded, those rebreathers, feel a little tiny, you stand up, man, take it off. Just friendly advice. I've had it sneak up on me before. It'll wreck you. Oh yeah, the fruit trees. I got it. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the fruit trees like all along the, yeah. Do you know in Haleiwa, where Haleiwa Joe's is, right there on the corner? If you go down that back little street there are just so many beautiful old homes, and there's a church there that's really old. It's all leaning to the side. It's such a beautiful building to take a photo of. But there's also a ranch back behind there that Shasta knows. Shasta knows that area really well. Oh, I didn't turn around this way. Sorry about that, guys. Those are those rebreathers, that full face rebreather mask, which, I mean, if you're not, guys, if you're not, I'm not even going to say, never mind. Wish you guys were here right now to enjoy this. Even with the clouds coming and the rain, I can feel rain coming right now, but I'm good. I'm waterproof. What'd you say this page? Oh yeah, Janet. Yeah, it is. I like it. I just don't. Yeah. Yep. Going to do that too. We were trying to work on an arrangement with Paradise Helicopters to drop us off there, but those suckers went out of business. Or the guy's retired. He didn't go out of business. Let me correct that. He did not go out of business. He just retired. So we're going to try and do it with someone else. It's also really just a matter of getting availability to Shasta. I have another person who's going to be available. We're going to give her a try on a couple of food. She's a local. She's going to try. We're going to try her out on a food truck or one of the farmers markets and see how that goes. Just so we have someone who can help back up. And then actually having her and Shasta do a stream without me is really kind of where I want to go and see how they do. But once I don't mind. I mean, I could go to North Shore tomorrow morning. I could do it any day, all day. Turtle Bay, it doesn't matter. But I just think it's boring if you guys have it with just me. You just hear me talking the whole time. And as the Naughty 19 says, I don't talk good. Can't say my words good. And I will pronounce things marbled. I think they meant garbled, and they didn't mean pronunciate. I think they meant enunciate. In any case, they misspelled both of them. Oh no, they marbled. They spelled right. Pronunciate, they misspelled. Twin fin is right there. See that beige building right there? Right on the other side. That's, you see twin fin, right? But see this 25-mile-an-hour sign? It's right beside it. No, but I mean, it's better if you have engagement with me and someone else. That just helps out. I pull back, Tom. I don't pull the trigger on all them fancy comings and goings words I know. Yoda was my speech teacher. Lance and a couple of people said I had to look up a couple of words you used before they commented, and so I've been more cognizant of that, or more aware of that. So I try to not. Yeah, I'm not trying to change them. I think it's funny. I hope they all stay tuned and listen to every single word that I use, because that way they're going to, they'll come around. There's going to be 2 or 3 of them. I think the leader of the group, who I happen to know who he is, the leader of the group is just a sad, lonely, bitter excuse machine. He will never turn around, but I think others will. They'll see, because here's the thing. This is exactly the truth. No matter what you think someone is or who you think they are, they will show you. If you're around someone 5-10 minutes, you probably don't know, but if you're around them for several hours on a stream, you kind of know who that person is. Sure, I'm going to be on my best behavior, but even still, I curse at people. You've seen me do it. You see me have some bad behavior, but if you take an arc of just the last 3 streams or the first 3 streams or any 3 streams in the middle, that person is who I am. Good, bad, happy, sad, nice, mean, that's who I am. And I think you can only tell someone, I think you can only predict, or what's a better word? Predict or label someone something or as being a certain way and have their behavior contradict that, and you stop believing what that initial person said. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I could think Lance is nice, polite, articulate, handsome. But then if I watch him on these streams for about 30, 40 minutes, I know all those things are false. So you get what I'm saying, right? People will reveal who they are no matter how much they want to hide who they are. So these people say, he's disrespectful, he's mean, he lies, he doesn't know Hawaii, which is true. All these things. You know the truth. Or at least what you perceive to be the truth. So I would rather not even worry about it. I am who I am. I'm going to have good days, bad days. There's some days when I get off streams, I just delete the entire stream because I'm like, man, you said the wrong thing. How much of a bum are you? Let's see what's going on today. They had, Access. Gosh, I wish I'd know that. Wish I'd remembered that. But Access organization, Access Surf, that's the organization I was talking about that had the limited ability people. I don't want to be disparaging to them. I want to use the proper term, but that's the name right there. Look up their organization. I think that's wonderful. Yeah, the truth is what it is, man. I mean, are they going to have a screen here? Maybe they will. I don't know. How about this? Look at the lays they have on Duke today. Isn't that beautiful? They're all dried up, but you know what? Sometimes I like that. Sometimes I like the dried up lays. I just think that's just beautiful, man. That's okay. Don't you guys think? Access surf, yeah. Adaptive surfing. I think this is the coolest thing. I'm not sure. Tom, check it out. You know what? I think a number of people do. I'm not sure who does that. But it may be the ambassador, like the Waikiki ambassador guys. But isn't this cool? They have like a walkway here for the guys, or a rollway here, but they have it for everybody. They have it for everybody. Let's walk down this way and I'll see if you check it out. Yeah. This is some awesome, awesome stuff, man. They have some known pro surfers out here helping these guys too. Look at that little kid out there. Oh my God, how beautiful. Here, I'll show you guys a cool view. We don't do this very often. You know, these are canvas. I don't know what kind of canvas they are, but they are like bulletproof canvas. I thought these were rocks for the longest time. Boy, I just about took a nosedive on that one too. This is a nice place to watch the sunset. You can see how much it's raining over there, so probably about an hour or so it's going to be here. This is kind of a unique, not totally unique, but it's a nice view. Man, sit right here with a Mai Tai in your hand, which is illegal, or have a totally black coffee. I'll let you guys soak this in a little bit.
You're fine.
At the end of the
But for that,
if you guys are on Facebook and you want to do a huge favor, maybe skedaddle over to YouTube if you don't mind and do it. Give it a like. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. There's going to be some really cool things happening. As soon as we get rid of this Rockahula, which, by the way, the lady, gosh, I can't recall her name. Who was it, Janet, that won the Star of Honolulu? She's here this week. She's coming like tomorrow, I think. And then Nikki, who is she was the lady who's made the horrible mistake of getting married 30 years ago, but she stayed married. God love her for sticking to it. She's going to be here either today or tomorrow, and she won the 2 Waikiki trolley passes for her anniversary. And you guys helped her cheat by naming the price of the poke on the menu at the beach bar at Moana Surfrider. So I'm looking for some follow-ups with these people, some videos, some beautiful photos, and some reviews on both of those places, the Waikiki Trolley and the Star of Honolulu. But we're doing the Rockahula. If you guys have not, and if it hasn't happened, there's actually 4 posts now. 4 posts for the Rockahula. You can tag, and just make sure you're tagging it the right way. You can tag 1 time per day on each post. So there's 4 posts, and post Rockahula, Hawaii, and just make sure you're doing the pull down. 98% of you are doing it the right way. So don't if it looks like it's right and you click that link and it goes to the right Facebook page, you're following. When you do that tag, you're doing a follow to the Rockahula Facebook page. It has 11,000 followers. That's how you know it's the right one. But we're doing that giveaway on the 28th, I believe. Not this coming Monday, but the following Monday. Just make sure that you're tagging that the right way. I've been practicing, Gerard. Make sure you're tagging it the right way and tag it a bunch. We're going to do the Aloha Stadium. If Shasta can't do it, I did it. I did an okay job by myself the last time we did it several months ago. I'll go do that again, so you guys can check it out. So that's coming up. Not here, Jane. You can tag it here, but and actually, you know, if you do tag it here, if you do tag it on Facebook, oh, I'm sorry, you did do it on Facebook. Rather than tell you where you can or can't, Terry has a way now. She can go through and just scrape all the comments on YouTube and on Facebook and pull you all out. And then she just has to filter in all the things like all the artifacts on the comments. But she can pull them all out. That's where she puts them in the Excel spreadsheet. But as soon as we get this Rockahula done, we're going to try out one of the packs, or like super packs or something. How's it going? We're going to do some other giveaways. Circle Island tour, the catamaran, we're going to do that. I don't think I'm going to be able to get Shasta to do a catamaran because we need to do that catamaran later in the day, like on a sunset cruise. We're going to do catamaran giveaways. I look forward to those because I think those are going to be popular because everybody wants to do one of those. It's the tracking, Steve-O. It's the tracking on the, like this. That one busted a little bit. Only the most highly trained should attempt those. Thanks for practicing. Boom. Okay, guys. That's going to wrap it up for me. Let's go over here. I didn't do my greeting in the very beginning because I thought I was saying it too much, but I'll say it now. See that guy right there? Avoid them. Don't buy your tours from them. Order them yourselves online. Okay. Do I what? Do you? Someone asked a question. Do I what? Oh yeah, the upcoming streams. Yeah. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. I appreciate you. Hopefully you laughed a little bit. I know you did. I know I did. And hopefully you learned a tiny bit. I think you did. I certainly did. And know that I do not take for granted any of the time you spend with me. If you spend one single minute, I appreciate it like it's an hour. Talk to you guys